Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Anne's Aesthetics, where we have fun painting tutorials that just bring a whole art vibe to the scene. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. Please stay tuned, because today I'm going to be giving you this MILF, yes, I said MILF, painting. In our scenario, MILF stands for Man, I Love Fall, and it is the fall season, so I just had to give this to you guys. To start off, we are going to be doing a black background, which you see here, but while we're doing this time lapse, I'm going to give a little story time. This weekend, I went on my beautiful anniversary out in the city, and I ended up taking my cell phone with me like one would. I dropped it and it ended up shattering, and believe it or not, I do use my cell phone to, well, you probably do believe it, because I mean, look at this, look at the quality, but I use my cell phone to film. I have an outdated iPhone, but my point is I'm super excited because I'm going to be getting a new phone with a better quality of camera, so I'm really hoping that the videos might start looking a little different here, and it'll be noticeable. It should be, for how many generations I am increasing. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. It should be arriving in a week, but I also don't want to use it until the case arrives because I'm not dropping it again, and it's just a whole scenario. So it's going to be a second before that kicks in, but I just wanted to let y'all know, and something I'm excited for. But we'll go back to the painting. The hands were something that were giving me a heck of a time. I was trying to look at our reference photo from today, and I was debating whether or not they were too round or if they were too pointy, and I was trying to get the opinions of my family, but they weren't being the most helpful, so I ended up switching the shape multiple times, but this is what we started off with, and you can see I also was jumping around quite a bit. But if it's easier for you to just finish the hands or finish the ribs or finish the complete shoulders, do what you gotta do. This is today's reference photo, inspiration photo. Thank you so much to the original creator for providing us with this, because we are using it as our basis for what we are painting today, and without them we would not have this idea. I just love it so much. It made me giggle a little bit, so I just want to share it with everyone else and see if we can spread that vibe / happiness around the town. Going in with the white to create the like square rectangular parts of the spine that we're seeing in the reference photo. And if you want to pull up the reference photo for yourself, you can check out the Pinterest in my bio description below, and then you can go to my board art and drawings, and under that board you will find a board called Halloween, and this little MILF painting inspiration photo will be under that, so you can see up close what I am looking at. Or you can just watch what I'm doing if that's something you're okay with as well, because next I'm going to be outlining where the bones are, and as you can see, some of them on the hands are very small and very tricky, so it was a little bit of a process. That's why this is time lapse, and it ended up being like 45 seconds after the time lapse, which for those of you that have ever done time lapse, you know 45 seconds is actually quite a bit of time to get out of a time lapse. How many times can I say that? But anyways, I wanted to clean up the pumpkin after doing the outlining because I felt the pumpkins needed to be bold, like, you know, the tatas are. This is the longest I've gone in a video without having to say a shade name. I'm using the shade Jack-o'-lantern for this. It's very apparent for what I'm using its intended purposes of. But Jack-o'-lantern's going to be the shade for the cap and the pumpkins, and the Man I Love Fall at the bottom. I want this painting to look super good and perfect. I definitely do recommend tracing the original skeleton, like a similar method I did for the pink Cadillac video. It would make sure the bones are in the exact spot, like where you need it to be, but I'm not, you know, I don't really notice those kind of things for bones. I don't really care. I thought it looked okay, so I just popped that bad boy on there and kept moving along. because I want to get the painting done so I can show it off for the end of Halloween month. Similar to a bottle of crappy cheap nail polish, this took 2, possibly even 3 layers if you wanted to completely make it opaque. It is 54 cents paint from Walmart, so I can't really get too mad at it, but I do have to make it a little noted that if you want to spend a little bit more money and get some nicer paints, go for it. But if you're like me and you just want convenient and cheap, then Walmart is the way to go. I'm going to use some white to go back in and clean up those bones after doing the outlining, and then the pumpkins, some of the bones have been covered back up. So this will just make it a little more crisp and make it look like, you know, it was supposed to be like that the first time, the first layer. After cleaning that up, I'm going to go in with a tiny, tiny little brush and some black, and I'm going to do the fine details of the face. You could also use an acrylic marker for this, but I don't really have one that's detailed enough and that I like that was going to be that small, so I decided that the acrylic paint was going to be the best way for me to go today. It all just depends on what technique you're most comfortable with. You gotta experiment. It's really up to you. Personal preference. We're doing the teeth and we're building the nose, and then we'll do some of the eye sockets, and I'm using the shade Jet Black for this. I discovered that there is 2 different shades of black at the Apple Barrel. I hope it's called Apple Barrel. I keep calling it Apple Barrel, but who knows if it's actually the Apple Barrel brand. I know it's got Apple on it, but that's all I know. Anyways, they got like normal black and it just says black on it, and then they have jet black. So when I saw that, I was like, I gotta pick up jet black, because then what's normal black? I don't get it. I ended up adding 1 extra tooth to the bottom, so you'll see that I went back into the top and also added an extra tooth to the top so it wouldn't be unleveled, like a little OCD thing. I debated leaving it, but I'm like, nope, this guy is not going to have buck teeth. I'm trying to include more footage than normal because I feel like my videos are normally too short. I don't like how short they are, so this is only adding like another minute or 2 than normal, but I do feel when it's over that 10-minute mark, it does make a difference. So let me know the feedback in the I always say the description, in the comments below, what you thinking. Speaking of feedback, don't forget to either like, dislike, whatever you feel like, comment, share with a friend if you really want to. Subscribe would be fantastic, but you know, you don't have to, but really anything interacting wise will help me out, so do as you please with that information. But I'm going back in with that white again for those fingers, because I was like, they are pointy, they're too round, I don't know. But I had to do some highlighting on the nose and the eyes anyways. And then I realized out of nowhere that this orange was never painted in, so that pumpkin was just kind of missing there the whole time. But, you know, I recognized it, fixed it. And then I'm going in with some white so we can do the MILF top. And I am going to do a different design for the top than what our inspiration photo is. I did white, and then I outlined it. I outlined it in like a purple, which I'm going to show you later, but I just wanted to make that key point so you didn't, if you want to do it just like the photo, it's up to you, but I just want to make that key point just because, you know, we're going through with the video right now. Halloween is almost here, and I want to show y'all my cute little cup I have that matches so well with the canvas because it's got a little skeleton. Oh my goodness, what is that? It's got a little skeleton baddie on it, and we're drawing a skeleton baddie, and we are baddies, so put the math together, you can figure out the rest. But this is where my favorite part comes in. We're going to be outlining. And I think when I outlined the pumpkins, it really made it look so good. The pumpkins, the hat, just all of it. I added some purple dots. I'm doing the purple outlining for the MILF. And I did purple stems because I just like that pop of color to tie it in. And then the white outlining just for like the 3D effect, I guess. I like it. I put some Mod Podge on top of it, and it turned out looking like this. I just love the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you have a wonderful, happy rest of your day. Stay cool. Peace out. Bye-bye.